What's up, gang? What's going on? Do I got a good audio check? What's up, gang? Hi, y'all. We got good audio. All right, gang. I just want to wake y'all up, show you what's going on. Now, this subject gonna be talking about how people in position of power, like preachers and stuff, the TV preachers, they ain't just really gonna tell you everything when they break the scripture down. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna just show you how Lucifer, when he comes and dwells on the earth, he dwells in human bodies. You know what I'm talking about? So, shout out to everybody in the chat. We finna get on some of that Illuminati, the Freemasonry, how they construct this one world government that's right before our eyes. But we don't even see how much control they really got over us. Now, if you believe in magic and illusion, you know the Bible always talked about the magic men. Because you know Moses went against them. So Moses had a staff, he changed it to a snake, but the musician did the same thing. So where they learned that technique from, you did what I'm talking about. But did you know back in ancient Rome times in religion they performed magic, miracles, you know what I'm talking about? And the whole church was illusion. How y'all? See what I'm talking about? Cause y'all familiar with Pastor Geno Jenkins? Geno Jenkins. Yeah, man, he bold with it. He cold with it. I mean, you know what I'm talking about? That's the most accurate teaching that you really could get because he speak boldly and it's just the truth. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, all that witchcraft. I'm finna show y'all why all this witchcraft came in. Cause y'all remember in the 12 tribes of Israel, y'all know which of the tribes they were really wicked. For a prime example, the Dana tribe was a wicked tribe, a wicked ass tribe it did. What? I'm looking good on the big screen. If you watching me on the big screen, how Tregang looking, goddamn. Mm-hmm. So look, check this out, gang. When you be studying the word of what, you know what I'm saying, and folks on when God was explaining everything, you know what I'm talking about, to the world and stuff like that. I see why he was hard on us, and I see why we were the chosen one. Cause we the most hard headed group, you know what I'm talking about? In the world, basically. If you read that in the Bible, you know what I'm talking about? Boy, then Moses had a hard time dealing with our ass, didn't he? So look, I want to show y'all a technique, right? And you got to be careful of the words. Okay, I tell y'all what. How many animals in the Bible that spoke a language? How many animals in the Bible they actually talk? According to the scripture. Now, you know, if it started out with Adam and Eve and you had the serpent talking to him, why nobody ain't talking about the donkey? And you know what I'm talking about? Look, for a prime example, right? I want to show y'all how Gino told Tate, he told TD Jakes ass up. Cause look, when the devil, you know, the devil know the Bible well more than any human in the world. So he come just like God saying, cheap clothing and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Stand before you like he on the throne. He walking back and forth, and you know what I'm saying, preaching the word though, but ain't telling you everything about the word. For a prime example, gang, I want to go to her and show y'all the video. Wow. And I want everybody to listen to this, and I'm going to show y'all a technique.
Have you noticed now anything and anyone, they call themselves Christians? You will have a gay parade. That's right. And over 85% of the homosexuals will say we're Christians. Ask yourself, viewers, why T.D. Jakes don't say nothing about homosexuality, same-sex marriages, men with men, women with women? Think. Why don't he say nothing? He's busy flapping his hands around. Why don't he say nothing? Either you are against it or you condone it. If you are against wrong, you'll speak out against the wrong.
All right, key word, what he just said about TD Jakes. But also he said, if you against wrong, you against wrong. We already know who we talking about when he talk about wrong. Right? Now keep this in mind. Do y'all really think the Roman just all of a sudden disappeared? Nobody don't look. Check this out. Nobody don't say, yeah, I'm a Roman. Just let's use the word what they used back in the day. Instead of saying like we black people, they say we the Israelites, our president, you know what I'm saying? They from over there in the country, Rome, Italy. Italy, that's where the mob is, right? You know what I'm talking about? Now today term, Italy is the mob. You know what I'm talking about? Then you got the Pope, he in the Vatican. You see what I'm talking about? So now check this out though.
I forgot the gentleman's name. A journalist gave an interview to Jakes. No, not Pierce Morgan. And he asked Jakes a question. Can homosexuality, in fact, the interview is on YouTube, can homosexuality and the church coexist? Jakes didn't stutter. He said, why, certainly. Then Jake said, there's many ways. There's a whole lot of ways to get to God.
A question coming in from Black 185 in our digital community said, do you think, I'm assuming, LGBT community and the black church can coexist?
Absolutely.
Let me push that question because that's sort of an obvious yes. Church ain't turning nobody away. how should the black church and LGBT community exist?
I think it's going to be diverse from church to church. Every church has a different opinion on the issue, and every gay person is different. And I think that to speak the church, the black church or white church or any kind of church you want to call it, are all the same.
You see that? I think all the black church and the white church all the same, but they get their teaching from the Pope, the Vatican. You know what I'm talking about? Now he trying to justify like it's cool to be dead. You know what I'm talking about? Well, really, it's not. If God say one thing, your opinion don't matter and nobody else's but God, but you saying their opinion, and then you bringing that old Pope ass teacher, right? Just listen to the words that coming out his mouth. And I'm explain the rest later.
Is totally not true, and all gay people are not the same. The types of relationships that are afforded are based on the types of people in each individual case.
Yeah.
And LGBTs of types and sorts have to find a household of worship that reflects what your views are and what you believe like anybody else.
He just told you get a house of worship, right? On your own belief. Meaning design your own codes. They would approve this. Now you got the LGBT community, right? And he just really just stirred that way to go. Why you didn't educate these people like us? You know this wrong, you know what I'm saying? And explain to him what God way. Now that person gonna have to choose right or wrong. They know it's wrong cause they got to do it in the dark. You see what I'm saying? So you already know it's wrong, so you still in the dark with it. Cause you know when the public light hits you, you know what I'm saying? And look how ashamed that you is, and you know what I'm talking about, and all this shit, right? But look how since most people go to church and pay their way out of sin in their mind. Yeah, I know I'm a thunder booty. Let me go in here, praise the Lord, drop that money off, and go home. You see what I'm saying? Now check what he finna say.
And the church should have the right to have its own convictions and values. If you don't like those convictions and values, you totally disagree with it, don't try to change my house, move into your own and establish that sort of thing and find somebody who gets what you get about faith. And trust me, I've talked to enough LGBT, they are not all the same.
Oh, for sure. Any more than all Christians.
No, no.
But how do we, first of all, has your thinking evolved on this?
Evolved and evolving. Evolved and evolving.
Where were you and where are you?
I think that where I am is to better understand. The church bought into the myth that this was.
Boom. I was reading the chat. I'm so glad when you said Obama passed the gay law. Now you see what I'm saying? But look how they knew Obama was gonna win the election just because we finna help him. He wasn't for the black community. He was really for the LBG community. Cause look, to check this out. When Obama came in office, you know what I'm saying, they helping the LBG and all of this. Man, who would they legalize the same-sex marriages? And the Pope approved it. And then the Pope turned around and said, no, we can't do that. Because the Pope already know if it's going to be same-sex marriages and people marrying men and women marrying women, guess what this finna do to the world? Solomon and Gomorrah. And next thing you know, man, God finna come and flame this junk up. You see what I'm saying? He gonna be like Solomon and Gomorrah. That's why he destroyed Solomon and Gomorrah. Cause look when they seen the angels coming in and look at the homosexuality then with the angel when it came to Solomon and Gomorrah. You know what I'm talking about? So he was like, man, no, don't do that, man. I got $2 right here. You can take them for wine. They were like, nah, we want the boys. You see what I'm saying? So watch this, y'all. They just really just look. They just really just expose him. Cause he ain't keeping it real when it comes to the gospel. He just preaching the prosperity preaching that's gonna generate him money, and the people that gonna generate money because they guilty for their sin. So if you telling me about it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Pay for your sin type shit, and it be given away, and you now it don't work like that. You don't make your own law, and you telling everybody to make your own home then. And since you don't approve of this, go do that over there. Now check this out.
Was a Christian nation. And once you get past that, which a lot of people are going to criticize me because they're still going to think it's a Christian nation, which is a whole different show. But once you begin to understand that democracy and that a republic actually is designed to be an overarching system to protect our unique nuances, then we no longer look for public policy to reflect biblical ethics. If we can divide, or what you would call separation of church and state, then we can dwell together more effectively. Because atheists, agnostics, Jews, all types of people, Muslims pay into the government then cannot reflect.
Now this just to show y'all something. He talking about the government. Now when you think about the government, what how religion works now with the government. Think about the Tower of Babylon. King Nimrod, the one government. Now you see that he bringing the government to justify all this wickedness. You see what I'm saying? Look at this. It's the same doctrine these people were trying to convince the whole world with this one religion, one world government, and he talking to it right in front of your face. Now we already know who the God is to the government. They printed on the dollar bill. You know what I'm talking about? So check this out.
Reflect one particular view over another just because we are the dominant group of religious people in the country, because those numbers are changing every day. We need a neutralized government that protects our right to disagree with one another and agree with one another.
So that covers what happens outside the church.
Right.
Inside the church.
Now think about that. You got Nike, the shoe god. She's the goddess of the wind, earth, fire, Olympians, warfare, all that. This Nike. So who are these people if you got preachers and y'all sitting there talking about different gods? You see what I'm saying? You got these big executives, they believe because they from ancient Greek, Rome, you know what I'm talking about? And disguise themselves, yeah, we Caucasian people, and you know what I'm talking about? And you know what I'm saying? Now we call a white man, but we don't look at their ancient name in the Bible when they were trying to go to war with us, and we kick some ass, right? See what I'm talking about? Appreciate the thumbs up, y'all. Appreciate that thumbs up. But I just want to get to this point.
Church, has your thinking biblically, scripturally, hermeneutically shifted at all? And the reason I ask that is because I talk to a lot of ministers now, and there was that big conference out in South Africa in the last couple of weeks where people from all over the world were there, and this is one of the issues that came up along with race.
Now look, you see these some intelligent men, they went back to Africa. When you think about Africa, ain't Egypt, all of that isn't really in the heart of Africa, Ethiopia. Think about when Moses went to Egypt, we was already in slavery then. Cause he killed the man that was beating his own people, right? We Hebrew Israelites, right? So we had our Hebrew language, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Our own language and all this. So if they were building the tip of the pyramid, and you know what I'm saying, and all this other Tower Babylon, you know what I'm saying? Just think about all them wars, them history from goddamn and Moses. And them folks still over the really still in the war over there in Afghanistan. So we got the pyramids and They got all that knowledge, all that power. Cause check this out, you know what I'm talking about? Man, look, when God put Adam on the earth, he said take care of the land. And I'm quite sure he gave him instructions to how to take care of the land. You see what I'm saying? I'm quite sure he was like, yeah, I need you to trim these bushes, you know what I'm talking about? Cut this clean this, that cut this grass over here, these flowers right here. You want to decorate these? I made these specials. You know what I'm talking about? You see what I'm saying? But check this out though. I'm finna get to the good part.
And other things. And one of the questions was, is there a way to approach Christian tradition, Christian scripture, in light of a new understanding of LGBT? For example, 18th century, there might have been a particular understanding of what slavery meant in relation to Paul, in relation to the New Testament, et cetera, that has shifted to the point that it is socially accepted that irrespective of what text says, literally, we don't support slavery as a body, right? And even though it varies church, most churches don't support slavery.
Right.
Might be a few out there that do. We don't get invited to those.
Yeah.
But similarly, there's room for that same kind of shift.
I think that shift has to go on behind the closed doors of the church, because I think in the mainstream America, anybody who
He said that teacher supposed to go into closed doors in the church. But ain't the scripture said how Jesus walked in the church? Like how you men teach in secrecy. You see what I'm saying? Teaching secrecy, right? Now look at all this knowledge they ain't revealing to y'all. But they pastor men, you know what I'm talking about? They pastor men. This how the devil look, this how the devil, you know what I'm saying, dwell in human beings, come and speak the voice. That's how he intimidate you, because he know the word. You got Jesus know the word. And then you got Lucifer, Satan. He got many names. You know what I'm talking about. So he know the word too, right? He can make it sound good, polish it up. You know what I'm talking about, and transform it into a losing, a magic trick. Like damn, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And check this out. Why is this though? When you actually want y'all to see how TDJ, cause he finna be a prime example of the same doctrine that he going by. This ain't the document from God. This is the document from Nicodemus. If you go to read Revelation, look at the document of Nicodemus, now you finna understand this shit. You see what I'm talking about? That's the most powerful goddamn it, wickedest goddamn it. Cause check this out. I'm finna school y'all how this shit came about. What they got?
who doesn't agree with you, we have a derogatory name to call you. And I think it oversimplifies the complexity of text. The fact that you have fidelity to the scriptures as you have been taught does not mean that you're necessarily homophobic or any other kind of phobia. But yet in mainstream America, anybody who doesn't line up with a particular worldview, we give them a name to ostracize them, much like we were given names to ostracize us. This name calling does not depict the
There you go, changing the names. Then look at the sleek words, America, America, this. But we are trying, and you trying to convince us that we Americans and make it okay when it comes to freedom of religion. What he basically saying, this is a religion that you can freely do what you do. But you got to pay the money to, you know what I'm saying, to get away your sins. So that's why the church get bigger. That's why God put the taxes in the fish's mouth. That's why you got the Jesus fish. Now, nobody don't know what the Jesus fish mean, but they got a fish on there. But if you read the Bible, God told you, know, I'm gonna put this 10% in the fish's mouth. You go over there to the sea, because they tax who their taxes going to. The property owner, the people that stole the land, like the Freemasons, the government. The government owned the land, right? The government owned all the land, right? Them the people that we went to war with, right? So it's still going on. You know what I'm saying? Right today. That's why I'm starting to understand, like, damn, that's why ain't nothing new up under the sun. Cause they were telling Them telling me all this in the beginning. Now read up on it. So check out the doctrine of Nicodemus, y'all. You know what I'm talking about?
The struggle that many people have theologically. I think the argument has to be theological and not sociological. The fact that the world has turned that way doesn't mean that the word has changed that way. The argument for clergy, fundamental clergy, has to be a theological argument. It cannot be a sociological one.
If I went out of time, I would push you on this. And one day I'm going to bring you back just to talk about this because I'm fascinated by your take on it. And I want to not just challenge you on it, I want to understand your thinking on this because the thing I appreciate about you most is that you operate in good faith. You're honest, you're transparent, and about.
And think about this. This whole shit is based off of you struggling. Look how they finna preach the word you struggling, meaning that you got a money in a financial situation and God gonna help you through all of that. You see what I'm saying? So when you see that almighty dollar in your pocket, symbolize that's what he talking about. This what he finna put you in the struggle. So now you attempted with God, right? You want money or you want God? Seems like everybody chasing the bag. Hold on, y'all. That's the devil calling me right now, trying to say, man, look, let me talk to you right quick, Tregang. You know what I'm talking about? Because you got hell on fire right here. We trying to turn some of that heat down. See what I'm saying? So look, the preacher's gonna preach that you in the struggle. You might be late on the bills, and you know what I'm saying. You don't know how you gonna get your next meal, and all this old government design shit for you to go through that. About some fucking money, man. God gave you land. You better go and cut some wood, build your own shit. But watch this though. It's finna get deeper than this.
Your struggle with these things and about your convictions about
Well, it's
things.
a complex issue. It's a real complex issue, and it was in the Bible days. Sexuality versus spirituality. Paul spends a lot of time wrestling back and forth, trying to understand, should a woman wear her head covered? Should you cut your hair? I mean, they grappled back then, and we're grappling now because we are humans, and we are flawed, and we're not God. Yeah. Once you understand you're not God, you leave yourself an out clause to grow.
I know that's right.
Yeah, to grow.
You's a liar. There's one way to get to God. The Bible says a highway shall be there. And a way. And that way shall be called the way of holiness. These men, they hate the Bible. So this is why you see.
Oh, look, T. Slade. Check this out, T. Slade. That's finna be the punchline about the false prophet. Look, check this out, right? T. Slade. Man, look, we got a spiritual connection going on right now. So guess what? What you just said, what the Bible said, beware of false prophet. Check this out.
The potter house, but God is going to crack that pottery. Many ways, but God is going to crack that pottery. See the potter house, but God is going to crack that pottery. Many ways to get to God. The Bible don't teach that foolishness.
Jesus saith unto him,
Listen at this.
now in the book of St. John, chapter 14, and at verse 6.
Let's compare what Jake said to what Jesus said. Give chapter and verse again.
St. John chapter 14 and at verse 6.
John 14:26 said.
St. John 14 and verse 6.
All right, John 14 and verse 6. All right.
Jesus saith unto him,
Jesus says unto him,
I am the way.
no, I have many ways.
I am the way.
Spell way.
W-A-Y.
S.
W-A-Y.
Where's the S?
No S. W-A-Y.
T.D. Jakes is nothing but an evangelistic liar.
That's right.
And you know, a S symbolizes a snake. You know, the S symbolizes a snake, right? So look, when you got the word S, look, it swivel like a snake, and that means many when it comes to, you know what I'm talking about? I'm just putting y'all on some of this biblical shit. But check this out. Watch this.
Folks that's tied up to praise the Lord.
There's a big government scandal going on that you need to know about it. The government.
Wow, what a coincidence. They got a government commercial on this shit. You see what I'm saying? They got a government commercial on this shit. Listen to this shit.
Is actually stealing money from unsuspecting property owners. Let me explain. Every day, the government forecloses on 3,000 or more property owners because they've fallen behind on their property.
Looking like an ancient Rome Greek, don't it? What that look like to me, don't that nigga look like one of them ancient Greeks? Man, let me get out of here since he talking about the government. See how they disguise themselves, gang? Look, put a business suit on, shave your head, and use the same technique, but in the business form. Now, they've been doing this since Genesis. Now, watch TDJ. Check this out. Watch this.
Look, we hate
God damn it, TDJ, how many hands you got on her?
If you watch for the next
Trying to get to a scenario. He got it all juiced up, monetized like a motherfucker. Now let's look. Now check this out. T Slay. This my point exactly what you said. Beware of false prophets. Beware of profile. Man, watch how everybody's gonna wake up to this.
About the same thing, but have different points of view. They don't always understand what is at stake. But the disciples did. Because people who walk really close with a leader are privy to information that other people don't have. They know sometimes when, for instance, I'm preaching as we travel across the country, they know when I'm jet lagged. They know.
Now keep this in mind, Pastor Gino said, why you walking around with your hand flipping and all this, what he finna tell y'all, really finna expose this goddamn nigga demon doctrine that they got from over there, from a wicked tribe. Check this out.
They know when I'm sick. They know when things aren't going good. They know when I'm worried about something. The audience doesn't know it. But the people who are closest to you really get to know you. And in some way, they become a kind of family. Several years ago, I went to Whitney Houston's funeral, and I was moved by her mother and her daughter who was living at the time.
Now he mentioning Whitney Houston, and he went to the funeral. We didn't know nothing about T.D. Jakes at that time when they were Whitney Houston, right? I think it was, yeah, when Whitney died. It was right back, yeah, he was probably reaching up his level. So look, let's see what he finna say about the Whitney Houston shit.
And their remarks and all the things that people said, her aunt, who presided over different aspects of it, all of it was touching. But when her band stood up and started talking, I found it difficult to hold back my tears. Because I know what it is to travel with somebody. And when you travel all over the world, you become a bit of a family. You've seen them at good times. You've been on the road.
And keep this in mind, she on tour with Clyde Davis. Look at her career, went through the drug abuse. Look, remember the documentary? You know, everybody know what Whitney Houston went with the label, with the money dispute, her career downfall. But look, everybody knows she signed a contract with who? The devil. With the devil, gang. You see what I'm saying? And you know, they said the devil was the leader of the choir when it came to the music. So check this out. Listen to what he's saying.
When a loved one died, you've been on the road when somebody got sick, you've been on the road when they got in trouble. I never will forget, we were in Nigeria and Antar got sick, and they told me to go ahead and fly home. And I said, are you crazy? I'm not leaving Antar in Nigeria, sick with malaria. Hop on a plane, they thought he had malaria, he didn't, but hop on a plane and leave him behind. I'm old school. If he's not going, I'm not going. So we might as well settle down, get an extra night, get an extra 3 nights, whatever we got to do, because we're in it together. We've been in deserts. We've been in dry places. We've been in places where there were no bathrooms. We've been in places where there was no food. We've been in places where we got sick. There's been times I've got sick, and he had to nurse me back to health. There was one time I was in a hotel, had fallen out on the floor. He came in, got me up off the floor, and treated me till I got better. And you think I'm going to leave him in Nigeria? You must be out of your mind. Are you tripping?
So what he basically said, man, I'm in a 5-star hotel and these people come to my ass, give me this luxury treatment, this good hospitality going. You think I'm finna leave Nigeria? You see what I'm saying? But he ain't finna teach you nothing about Nigeria. Come check this out when they finna come to a false prophet. Listen to what he finna say.
I'm never as happy when I preach as when I have Marcus on the organ, because Marcus has been playing for me since I'm 17 years old. Since he was 17 years old. I wasn't 17. When I was 17, I'm not sure he was born. But he was 17 years old, and he don't even have to look at me. He knows my body language. He knows my movements. He knows everything about me, and I don't have to explain nothing to him. It's powerful.
Masonic body languages. Masonic body languages. Now you see he got the hand on the chin. Why would they put that in there? You see what I'm saying? Watch this.
When you travel with people, a special bond erupts out of that and a closeness that comes out of that situation. And so when we step into this particular text, the disciples are not feeling what the crowd is feeling because they are privy to information that Jesus is going to Jerusalem to die. And Thomas has said, I must go and die with him. So the palpable feeling of anxiety what was exactly that. It was palpable, it was tangible, it was real amongst the disciples because they didn't know how the story was going in. Have you ever gotten into something you don't know?
Now look how he finna put all the worldly preaching in. Now look. Now he talking about the disciple, his situation. Now he's trying to make y'all think you in the same situation, but you in debt. You got money issues. God gonna bless you, but stay strong. Now think about this when it comes to our constitutional rights. When they told us we 1/3 of a human. This in the constitutional rights. This is where you finna get the false prophet and the donkey. But he ain't finna tell you that. He ain't finna tell you about this situation, right? Check this out.
Know for sure how the story's going to end, and there's a certain ominous feeling hanging over your head because you got a feeling this is not going to be a happy ending. My mother, when she was dying of Alzheimer's, she was trying to prepare me for the death. She said, every story don't have no happy ending. And I knew what that meant. I tried to act like I didn't know what it meant, but I knew what it meant.
So he's saying when Jesus was died on the cross, it was no happy ending. He know what that means, right? Why why would you say some shit like that, but he supposed to die for your sin? That's the happy ending. Really? Not really though, because he got to come back. You see what I'm talking about? But look at the slick words and the slick talking. People ain't really filtering and taking in what the fuck he really teaching you. Because you got to teach the word of God and then manipulate with the words. Check this out.
Man, she was trying to prepare me. They were going to Jerusalem. Jesus had set his face to go to Jerusalem. There was no stopping him. Even though he knew that to go to Jerusalem was to sign a death sentence. And the disciples were going along loyally. They've been with him everywhere else. They've been with him in every other situation. They had been with him with the woman with the issue of blood. They had been with him as Lazarus was raised from the dead. They had been with him as the man with the withered hand stretched forth his hand and got healed. They had been with him when he ran through the cornfields and they ate of the cornfields. They had been with him when the Pharisees tried to trap him and he eluded their trap. They had been with him in every situation and every circumstance. They'd been with him when he took the 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread and fed 5,000. They had been with him when he walked out on the water in the middle of the night and came walking to him and they thought he was a ghost. They had been with him when he told them to go down there and pay the taxes out of the fish's mouth. They had been with him in every situation.
Man, Judah sold Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Right? Now that you got the Jesus fish. Now, if he gave you the real story about the Jesus fish, because guess what? Keep this in mind. We already know that we pay our taxes. To who? To the government. You got the IRS. It's the same tradition when God said, look, I'm going to put 10% in the fish's mouth. He ain't going to give you the whole story that these taxes was going to Freemason men. They were going to Freemasonry, taking land, and making people paying taxes on it. Right? Now, I just showed y'all the interview that he was talking about, yeah, we need to back the government. Check this out.
And it would have been a bit nefarious to walk away now. But the real test of discipleship is not walking with somebody when they're performing miracles. The real test of real discipleship is to walk with them when they walk through the valley of the shadow of death. To go through the garden of Gethsemane and hang out with them and watch them sweat drops of blood is proof of being a real disciple. I'm not in.
Oh, really? So you got blood, you know what you talking about? Blood, the sweat, and the shadow of death. But look how they try to make it sound good, though. You did want them out. And Jesus wouldn't have sounded death to you. And he just told you it ain't no happy ending to this. He just told you this shit. Watch this, though. Look, I'm finna get back to what I'm finna say about this false prophet shit.
Impressed with people who want to follow me up on the mountain. I'm impressed with people who hang with you in the valley. Am I talking in the right place?
What is the right place? The high place of principalities? You know what I'm talking about? You in prison and people there walk with you and through the shadow of death. Remember, it's a heaven and hell. And remember, when you act right according to God's law, you won't have to experiment doing all this shit. You see what I'm saying? But he trying to preach it like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
So the disciples are on edge. So as they near going to the place of Jerusalem and starting the Holy Week, they run into blind Bartimaeus. And the reason I believe that the disciples snapped at blind Bartimaeus because they didn't have time for it. And everybody in here, I don't care how saved you are, there are times.
Before he finna get started, he just said, I don't give a fuck how saved you will. But that's the whole purpose for you to be saved, right? You know what I'm saying? But now he just said, I don't care how saved you will. That's the whole purpose of you coming to your congregation and saying, I want you to be saved for real. I mean, you know what I'm talking about? But now he just said, I don't, cause this what it finna get controversial about when you read the Bible. Watch the technique of the false prophet. He gonna tell you about the donkey, but he gonna tell you about where the person ain't a false prophet was a real prophet, but he was a wicked prophet. Check this out.
I mean, if you catch me at the right time, you get Jesus. But if you catch me on the wrong day, and I ain't got time for it, I don't want to hear that foolishness. Shut up! We through healing people. We got problems. We didn't come to Jerusalem to heal no blind people.
Hi y'all. Listen to what he just said. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time to hear no people. Shut up, get that foolishness away from me. He said, I don't care how you say, how much you say, but when you hear that foolishness, when he said he heard foolishness, like healing and all this shit, listen how the devil just spoke in plain view.
We through healing people. We got problems. We didn't come to Jerusalem to heal no blind people. We might die here. Shut up! Master, send him away. He cries after us. That's the stress they're carrying. That's the stress they're carrying. Because they're going to Jerusalem to die. And there he.
For one thing, they didn't go to die. Jesus go to die because he was surrounded by a snake. You see what I'm saying? Look, he did. The 12 disciples didn't go to die. They were talking to who? The Romans. The same on the commercial that I just seen y'all talking about he the government and he can help you with your financial statements and shit. You see what I'm saying? He just said up there last said they were going to die. They wanted to fulfill me what God wrote, said only his son supposed to, you know what I'm saying, that and re-erected, you know what I'm saying, on the third day. And when the third day the temple broke, you see what I'm saying? Watch this.
He is in this situation. And in the middle of this situation, he exhibits throughout the week a threefold deity, operation of deity: prophet, priest, and king.
Boom. He just mentioned the first word, prophet. A prophet. Now watch this lecture and listen to the words about to come out this man's mouth. And he talking about us, Israelites people. We is the lost tribe. And he know that we is the lost tribe of this shit, right? Check this out.
He is priest enough to serve the Last Supper, the sacraments of the Passover. He is priest enough to do that. He is prophet enough to look into another city that he's not in and says, there's an ass and a colt tied up.
Watch this game. Listen what he finna tell y'all. Cause this finna expose him for real and who his God really is.
To look into another city that he's not in and says, there's an ass and a colt tied up. I get happy when I get to that part, because I have to figure that if God knows where a donkey is, then I don't have to get down on my knees and explain to him where I'm at. Jesus was aware of a colt and its foal tied up. He knew exactly where it was tied up. He said, go get him. God ain't making this thing up as he goes. He had that ass and that colt tied up for years, waiting on the right time. I want to take a minute and talk to somebody who's been tied up. God has not forgotten you. He will tie you up until the time is right. I don't care how many people go ahead of you. When it's your time, it's your time. And when God gets ready to pull you, he'll pull you out. He knows exactly where you are. He knows exactly what you got tied up. And the tie is as much God as the calling is. And when God gets ready to loose you and let you go, no devil in hell can hold you back. Loosen. Let him go. He is priest enough to serve the first communion, previously a Passover, now a communion.
Now I want y'all to hear this. Now look, I want y'all to keep listening. Cause if you don't read your Bible, it's easy for him to look good in preaching the lie. Now he comparing all of this that was going on in ancient days into term days. But it's about the money, our struggle, and our belief in Jesus. Right? Because you got to pay the 10% for the taxes. And notice they don't even pay the taxes. They collect the taxes. They don't even tax their money. You see what I'm saying? You see the con in this? Right? So look. Check this out. What he finna mention about the prophet, the donkey, and the story.
He is prophet enough to be aware of the donkey and its baby. Good God.
Here we go, gang. Hey, Slade. Where you at, Slade? This for you, Jack. Because you just heard what he just said about the prophet. Look. The prophet that he talking about is a real prophet from God. But he a wicked prophet. He is a wicked prophet. Before he gets started, watch out. If you read your Bible, you wouldn't say nothing like this.
Aware Passover, now communion. He is prophet enough to be aware of the donkey and its baby. Good God. Every little voice in you that says that God doesn't understand just got a whooping. Because you know, if God knows where an animal is, if his eye is on the sparrow,
All right. Now think about it. He's saying you the donkey. Look, he's saying you the donkey, right? In so many words, to put this now, go to your constitutional right. That's what you get your constitutional right that y'all really one part third of a herd. Right? In so many words, but on like a spiritual level, so you won't catch on to it. But he manipulated that passage, right? Because it coming from a real prophet of God, but he's a wicked prophet. And it's the reason for the story of the donkey. So guess what they did to the donkey?
If the hair on your head is numbered, all that stuff you're doing trying to explain to God your situation as if you needed to educate him is a waste of spit and wind. God knows exactly where you are. And if you're going to praise him when you get loose, you got to praise him while you're tied up. Yeah. I want the folks that's tied up to praise the Lord. Because the truth of the matter, the rope isn't holding me, my divine purpose is. And when it's time for me and the stage is set, hell can't make a rope that can hold me back. When God gets ready to loose me, he'll loose me. I ain't worried about you putting your foot on me, because he'll break your foot before you can hold me down if he wants me.
And that's how he got everybody with that worldly preaching. Talking about y'all the donkeys tied up and still praise God and all this, right? Look, check this out. The reason why he had to put that in there, playing with your feelings and emotions, get you a clap and everything. Just offer this prophet was a wicked prophet. He never spoke about this same prophet that finna ride this donkey. You know what I'm talking about? Watch this.
Up, you ain't strong enough to hold me down. There's a colt and a foal tied up in the next village. And Prophet Jesus knew where there was. And Prophet Jesus knew what posts they were tied to. And Prophet Jesus knew what rope was around their neck. And Prophet Jesus knew exactly what village they were in. And he's
The rope sound like some Ku Klux Klan type that got the rope around the donkey. You know what I'm saying? Look how they treating the donkey like how they were treating us in the days, right? Now you see you know what I'm saying? You see how they preaching trying to get you to keep praising God like God is not a man of war, a God of war to fight the evilness, you know what I'm saying? And Satan. Cause remember when Satan came down here on the earth, people didn't realize that he brought 1/3 with him. So it's gonna be many gods on this earth. In you know what I'm talking about? So check this out.
going to die and he's thinking about animals. If he's thinking about animals while he's dying, then while he's resurrected, I can surely believe he's thinking about me. Look at your neighbor and tell him God is
A donkey. You see what I'm saying? Now check this out. Now we go back and I'm gonna show y'all what the donkey gonna symbolize, right? Now we gonna go back to all this. And I'm gonna show you what he don't wanna. This is what a donkey, this the thoughts are about. We find the donkey serving behind the scene and helpers were needed. Even to this day, donkeys are considered reliable as helpers. Sound like some slave mentality going on. And look, they are hardly environment in the strong burden carriers. They are symbolized of the industry of peace at the time, wealth, while horses were the signs of wealth, war, power, and strength of the military forces. It is interesting to read the God commandment Israel not to gather horses until their nation or to go to Egypt for them in Deuteronomy 17, right? Israel eventually disregarded both the commandments, right? Solomon had thousands of horses, cities built, and centuries around the horses stable, and found a large introduction of horses trading, began to Sicily and Egypt. The horse restricted was the chosen people good. Alone. Israel was unique amongst the nation, and they had the great Lord Jehovah to fight their battles. Right? The Lord did not desire his nation Israel to trust in the horses or the carriage. Now we get somewhere, right? And as did Egypt, are not turned to worship them, as they happened with the wicked king of Judah. Now you can read that in the book of Kings. All right. However, we found the Lord provided his people with the donkeys who had the real work horses and the better suit to resent. Now look, now y'all see that why they call it? You the donkey, put the rope on the donkey, stay prayed up, and see how he was trying to teach that. So if we were owning all the donkeys, and don't trust in the horses and all that, you get the point where he mentioned this.
Thinking about you. What is man that thou art mindful of him, or the Son of Man that thou visited him? For you have made him a little lower than the angels, and yet you've crowned him with honor and glory. When I think of the fact that God's mind is full of me.
Man, he just said God's mind is full of him. And that's a bold ass statement. You need to tell me everything he thinking is full of you. Look, shrugging his hands again. Look, he's
I think of
shrugging
the
his
fact that
hands.
God's mind is full of me. And before the week is out, they will put a crown of thorns upon his head and mockingly call him the King of Jews, when in reality, he is absolutely what they called him, the King of the Jews. What it is that fascinates me in the early journey of this text, the inaugural display of this text, the embryonic development of this text, is the mixed expectations of the people. And the reason I think expectations have a lot to do with the text is that, write this down, expectations control disappointment.
That's why he wants y'all to imitate, because it controls disappointment, meaning that if you get homosexual, he'll figure out the way to tell it to you so you can accept it and keep donating to the church. Now, all right. Now, let's go to this. Remember, Abraham walked on the donkey? The angels of the Lord told Hagar that her son Ishmael would be like a wild donkey. Right? Signify the donkey is seen with Abraham riding a donkey going to sacrifice his son. So he ran a donkey to go sacrifice his son, meaning that he finna sacrifice his child, right? You know, Jesus rode a donkey, right? He chose to ride a donkey instead of riding on horses. He chose the donkey, right? See, he didn't tell you about the real story when Jesus rode the donkey when he signed his death certificate, right? You see that? Look, God was concerned in the treatment of animals. Donkey were specifically mentioned in those instructions. Donkey are included in the last of the 10 Commandments. What? And most example of the neighbor property that should not be covered. You see what I'm saying, y'all? Now look, this the donkey that he was talking about. The story of Bethlehem and his donkey made us laugh, but also remind us of God's power. Look, let me give y'all the story about him. Hold on, gang. All right. Now y'all reading this, give me a minute. So y'all can read it how simple the donkey is. And look at his doctrine about the donkey. You see what I'm saying? Now when you read this, you made a fool of me. Now let me read it from this. Then the Lord made the donkey speak, and it asked Baham, what have you to make you to hit me 3 times? Balaam said, you have made a fool of me. If I had a sword in my hand, I'd kill you right now. What? Now we got another talking animal in the Bible. You got the snake, and then you got a donkey. Now look, the donkey said to him, I'm your own donkey. You always rid me. I have done this to you before? No, he answered. The donkey, like, why you treating me like this? Have I done anything to you? He answered, no. Then the Lord let Abraham see the messenger of the Lord who was standing in the road with a sword drawn. So bend him knee and bow his face, touching the ground. Right? But if you know the story about why the donkey talked back to him, cause let me go to this. Hold on, y'all. I got to do this right quick. I got to go to. Hold on, y'all. Let me go to this right quick. Hold on, I got to put it in, gang. I got to go right here. All right. This the prophet that he was talking about. This the prophet that rode the donkey, right? The story begins in the chapter 22 of the book of Numbers. An ancient referring him, considering him a non-Israelite, a prophet, and the son of Beroth, right? But he blessed the Israelite instead of as dictated by God. He was a prophet from God, but he changed his back on God, right? Nevertheless, he is revealed as a wicked man in both of the Torah and in the New Testament. So when TD Jakes was teaching this shit, was telling y'all, listen, okay. They said he's revealed as a wicked man in the New Testament. According to the book of Revelation, Bethlehem told King Bibli how to get the Israelites to commit sin by intersecting them with sexual immorality, food sacrifice, and idols. Think about they got drugs for us to keep our sex longer. You know what I'm saying? Like the ecstasies and the heroin and all this. Then we got the food sacrifice that we eating all this swine meat, junk food. You know what I'm saying? Fast food restaurants, all these unclean animals that we like. This how he got us commit all these sins. And then idolatry with the cold image. Then I related that back to Rome, the ancient Greek, how the way they done set it all up. You know what I'm saying? The king of Babylon. You know, that's where you get your Nike God from. We worship in Nike. Everybody want Jordan shoes, name brand clothes, and all this is identified with these idols and gods. You see what I'm saying? Everything you wearing is you wearing a different God. Right? All because when he rode the donkey, right? The Israelites fell into the transgression due to the trap, and the God sent a daily plague to them. Now look, that's where you get all the diseases from now. You finna get the diseases and all this stuff, right? The boils. Now, should I go to her or the prophecies? Or should I go to her in the Quran? But look, this is the story. The main story occurred during the sojourner of Israel. Now y'all see this word right here, sojourner, right? Think about Harriet Tubman. What was her name before they changed her name to Harriet Tubman? You see what I'm saying? And look, and you see this name in the back. And look at her history about, you know what I'm saying, how she was leading people to the Underground Railroad. Ain't this the same title they were using to the Israelites? That's probably why we ain't never see. Look, that's probably why we ain't never see us fucking with horses and shit. We always had donkeys and mules. You know what I'm talking about? Cause we raised them to tilt the land. You know what I'm saying? And travel. But them people had horses and carriages for war. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So look, Harriet Tubman name was Sojourner Truth. Before she was Harriet Tubman. Her real name was Sojourner Truth. So y'all look into that. So look, same story. They was in the wilderness for 40 years. Don't it sound like her story though? Right? Shortly after death of Moses crossing of the Jordan River, and remember, Jordan River, Tidal River, Euphrates River, and the other river connect to the Garden of Eden. Right? And that's close to Ethiopia. If you look at the map where the Garden of Eden is, you gotta look for the four rivers they gonna connect. And it's in the hard part of Africa. You see what I'm saying? When you look in the central part of Africa, that's where the natural birth is. Egypt is right up the street. You know what I'm talking about? Walking distance. See, look. Keep this in mind, right? The Israelites had already defeated the two kings. Look who we were going to war with, right? The book of Numbers recount the Israelites making their exodus journey throughout the country of East. You know what I'm talking about? Of the Jordan. Near right here, I can't pronounce it, Heshbon. Right? Now check this out. When you look at pictures like this, where do you think they got the rocks from? Look where they got the rocks from. You see what I'm saying? So we were going with the Ammonite was an ancient Northwest Semitic speaking group of the Slavic who also accomplished a large part of the settlement. Now look, y'all, this is Semitic language. Now y'all remember when Nick Cannon was talking about the Semitic people, right? Hold on, let me bring that up. Nick Cannon, synthetic people. Now what's that word? Man, I can't pronounce the word. What's the name of this? Systematic. Yeah, systematic. Nick Cannon, systematic people. Not about this shit. Hold on. Let me go to it, gang. Who? Oh yeah, he was on that jump with who that dude? He did the what's that dude name? Public Enemy. Damn, they got rid of the video. What's that dude name, y'all? On he did that interview with. He was talking about these people too. But alright. They look. See, these people would allow us passed through his territory. So they got all these people together and went out against Israel in the wilderness. And he came to Jihad, right? And fought against Israel. The Israel defeated him with the edge of the sword and took possession of the land from the Aaron. Look, this who we got the land from, right? So we took, but they need to show us some more pictures or some. You know what I'm talking about? But y'all see how pretty it is. You know what I'm talking about? In Jabot, all right, we got somewhere. So look, so we took possession of all this. This our land right here. So we got possession of it as far as people of Amos. Now look, Amos was an anti-Semitic speaking language, right? They're conflict on the east of Jordan River between the Torrent Valley and all this. So look, this is where Jerusalem at. Now y'all see where Jerusalem at? It's right here by the King of Judah. Man, Jesus was still in the hood, like in the just say like this show state, like yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm a Chicago nigga. You see what I'm talking about? So when you look at the map, it makes everything real clear. Yeah, Professor Griffin. Yeah, hold on, let me pull it up. Nick Cannon and Professor Griffin. Oh yeah, so look now. If you know what Ethiopia, right? Okay, now look, this the Mediterranean Sea. This where the Greeks was coming in at, right? Cause they the god over the water. This where you get earth, wind, and fire and water, right? Earth, wind, and fire, right? They come over here through the water. They the sea gods. They come over here, and plus they were fighting us with fire. You know, torches, you know what I'm saying? Cause think about, you know what I'm saying, that we got fire guns and flame throwers and all this old shit. That shit been going on. You see what I'm saying? Hold on. See, can I pull it up? You see, he had set up, right? This is recent, right? So, in room full of Jewish people, these questions in maybe right? So let's look up the word anti-Semitic. Right. Who are the Semitic people? And then we're going to get to the public enemy thing. Right. So I looked up who is the Semitic people. And there's a list of Semitic people. And anyone can do this right now. You can look. Hold on, gang. Hold on. I'm finna pull that video up, right? So we were talking about Semitic people, right? I'm gonna go back to this. Let me set it up, gang. Hold on. Man, hold on, y'all. Now this who he talking about. Semitic people, right? Now look at the symbol for that. Right? This who he talking about.
Look up who are the Semitic people, what are the Semitic languages? Right. Has absolutely nothing to do with gay white people. Right. Not at all. So in order for me to be anti-Semitic, I have to be anti-black man, anti-black woman, anti-black people, anti-Africa, anti-all of the people, because the Semitic people are black people. Are black people. So y'all get that clarity. You know, say that again. Now, the Semitic people are black people. So I cannot be anti-Semitic. Now, what do they really use the phrase anti-Semitic to do? That's the thing to divide us. Exactly. Right. So they put this title on you, anti-Semitic, and then they neutralize you. Right. Separate me from the group. Right. Say he's a Jew hater, he hate white people, he hate gay people, he hate all white people with freckles.
And this one thing I learned too. Cause it's always a town in the United States like Georgia. Now we see Georgia over here in Rush, like Virginia. It's Virginia. They got a town in Africa called Virginia. You know what I'm talking about? Have like St. Paul. I mean, what is Maryland? You know what I'm saying? New York. All these names really came from half around the countries, right? So they separated from the white people, Caucasian, like he was saying, right? Boom. Even the map would show you clearly like what's really going on. So let me go back to this.
Which I've never said these things. Right. You understand what I'm saying? I just ran down the history given to me. Anybody can read this for themselves. So any professor for hating people. Right. Now, closer to what happened with the public enemy thing. James Bond, one of the X1Ws in the group, gave me some information because he was in touch with the research department of the Nation of Islam in Boston. Right. Got the information. Now we talk about the secret relationship between blacks and Jews. Right. It was a manual. It wasn't even a book. Right. Right. I got it. I went to Kinko's so I can get me a copy. Right. The brother recognized me. Oh, you that girl from Public Enemy, man. Right. For real? I said, yeah, bro. I gotta get to this thing. I was the road manager, so I was responsible for it. I gave it to him. Gave me a copy. But he made himself a copy also. Yeah. So that's a violation, but cool, bro. Whatever you want. He wants me. Okay. When I seen the brother again, dude gave me a buck. I gave James back his. So I read it. So now, the spokespeople for the group, me and Chuck, we did all the interviews. All right. We sat down. We was entering. We went to DC.
Hold on, y'all. Y'all can pull that video up, but see, look at the statue. So it's been civilization been going on through the world, right? So when the white man show y'all slave move, they want y'all to think y'all was still living in the jungle and shit. And the white man had to come over there to teach you about medicine, disease. Like they try to make y'all look like y'all we were the dumbest people in the world. You know what I'm talking about? Then we got this empire. Then Babylonia. Now look what Babylonia is, right? Now remember this where they built the Tower of Babylon at. So remember this. Cause you have to remember everything that's on the map. Cause I was look, cause when I was reading in the Bible, think about this. Them folks, when they said when they were traveling in the Bible and they were walking on foot and donkeys and stuff, just say like, how long if it would take me to walk from New York to California? In the Bible, some people saying they were walking, it was taking them folks goddamn 7 to 10 years. You know what I'm talking about? So when you look at it where this is, Babylon, you know what I'm talking about? Because probably indigenous people, language, of the early Bronze Ages. That's probably why they call it the early Bronze Age, because our statue was bronze and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of bronze statues. Then I think the Silver Age come out in the medieval day. That's when they took over the world and they're trying to build their construction now with this one world government. So all of this ties back in to the languages. Y'all remember about the Horn of Africa? Now look. See, I know the map. See, I know where I'm looking at. If y'all know where the Garden of Eden is, it's going to be in the hard part of Africa. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't like going to be like up here now. That's too far up. You got to, you know what I'm talking about? Only thing you will find is you got to look for the rivers. Africanicus. So look, they was already speaking this in the Western Asia, North Africa, the Horn of Africa. You see what I'm saying? Here go Kush. That's right there by Babylon, right? See? Hold on. These are the texts. Y'all can read this later on if y'all, you know what I'm saying. But this is who we were going to war with, right here, y'all. Now you see this Greek up here, Greek city state, this Greek at the top. Remember, they the gods of the sea. They was coming over here on boats, right? So they were coming over here, raiding us. You know what I'm talking about? Running people down. Cause remember cause we started running down West Africa. This gonna be all the way down Africa, right? Let me see, can I pull and that's gonna be by Cape Town. This is where they get all their slave moves. So that's why you see Alexander the Great. They talk about him because they were back in his days and shit. All right. Now to go back to the donkey, y'all can read this. Who has sent the wild ass free? Or who have loosened the bands of the wild ass? Who house I have made this wilderness, and the bird land has dwelled. He scorched the multitude of the city, and nearly regret that he the crime of the deliverer. See, so look. Now, when you think about that, what T.D. Jakes said about all of this, right? Boy, ain't this something? Man, we just exposed it. We just exposed his ass in the game. I don't know what else to say about that. And the fear of you and the dwell of you shall be upon the beasts of the earth, and upon every fowl of the earth, and upon every movement of the earth, and upon all the fishes in the sea. Upon your hands thou they deliver. The donkey is also one or two animals that the Lord enabled to verbally speak. In the Bible, the first animal was the serpent. We know that the God of Eden controlled by the devil, which deceived Eden to disobey God. The serpent is recorded to have a verbal communication with Eve. The Lord is turned all of the curse on the serpent, reducing him to crawl in the dust, legless in Genesis. Now here we go, baby, with the donkey, the second last animal recorded in the Bible to speak to human by the Lord. Look, he was a prophet, was hired by a enemy. You see that? A prophecy that was hired by an enemy of Israel to pronounce a curse upon the entire nation. See what I'm saying? See, he ain't mentioned that. He skipped over this part and was just telling you about the donkey. You know what I'm talking about? With the robe and you know what I'm talking about? Stuff like that. So they said he was hired by the enemy to put a curse upon the entire nation of Israel against the Lord's commandment. And then he accepted the job and traveled by the donkey to place the Israel were camped. Look, he was disobedient to God, and it angered God. And he sent his angel to stand in the path when he was traveling. And that's when he got to talking. That's when the donkey got to talking. So he skipped over all of this. So look, he skipped over all of this. Check this out.
I can't control what you do to me, but I can control what I expect from you. And the way, once I find out what you are capable of doing, I lower my expectations to your capabilities so I can't get shocked by your behavior. Because I can't control what you do, but I control what I expect. Because to
Boom! And he talking to the donkey. You see how he look, you see how he just manipulated the whole thing, but still got that doctrine though.
the degree that I control what I expect, I monitor my disappointment. Because disappointment is the end result of lofty expectations. And it is, in fact, about the expectations that I have come to talk to you about. They all said the same thing and they all experienced the same moment. The disciples went and obeyed him and they got the colt and they brought him. And Jesus said, if any man stop you in the way, tell him the Lord has need of him. And that means
Just what he just said. Now let's go back to this. What he just said, right? About the donkey. Because thou had mocked me, I would therefore would have sworn in my hand thou shalt kill thee. And the ass said to him, And I'm not thy ass upon thou has written ever since, meaning that you roll my back until this day, whatever want to do such deeds. See, I can't read like that. You know what I'm talking about? But y'all get the point, right? He abused the donkey, hit the donkey 3 times, and make it so bad he was a real prophet. But he let them folk pay him to put them in the curse. He was finna go look. Guess who he was finna go holler? He was finna go sacrifice with some old God. And look who the gods he finna go sacrifice. The God of Nike, the God of the earth. I mean the God of the water, the wind God, the fire God. You know what I'm talking about? So look, the story that occurred that he was a sojourner of Israel. Hold on, yeah, this is where I was at. Which by the river of the land of the children of his people in the Masoretic text. Look y'all, look what we got. Now y'all see where they adopt the symbol from, right? Hebrew and Aramaic. You see what I'm saying? Hebrew and Aramaic, right? Look what it's called. And look, this is Greek Old Testament, right? Translated from Hebrew. So Balaam sent the word back that he only could do what Yahweh command. And God has a dream, told him not to go. But he was a high-ranking priest and offered Beverly an honor. And Beverly continued to praise God, and God finally permitted him to go, but was instructed to say only what he command. So look, he finna go meet another a devil worshiper, really. And he was begging God to go talk to him. So look, Bethlehem then seated out in the morning with the Prince of Moab. God became angry that he went and implied that he only used Bethlehem as a tool to further his will and sent the angels of the Lord to prevent him at first. The angel is seen only by the donkey. Meaning he ain't seen it, but the donkey seen it first. Black he was riding, which he tried to avoid the angel. Bethlehem started punishing the donkey to refuse to move. See what I'm saying? And then the donkey spoke to him, right? And the donkey complained about his treatment. At this point, he allowed him to see the angel, who informed him that the donkey turned away from the messenger is the only reason the angel did not kill him. Boy, it's finna get deep now. Then he remitted Pete and was told to go on, so he repented. So they was already repenting back in the Old Testament. But in the New Testament, they want you to think repent was something new. You know what I'm talking about? You see what I'm saying? And then look, So when he go meet up with the king now, they went to go meet at high places of Bela. It's the title of a horrified meaning owner. Think a slave owner too. Right? So look. Mm, 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 mm. Now look, here we go right here, y'all. Now look, if y'all read this, now he meeting up with other people that worshiping other gods, and you know what I'm talking about. Remember, now I went and researched all these people, right? You know what I'm talking about. So you will understand that we really going to war. Put it like this: in today's term, the same people they talk about, these are president, our judges, our police officers, our bankers, our lawyers, our car dealership, our bosses. These people, these is the same people. That's how much it had to take these people thousands and thousands of years to get in the position they in now. They don't need to go to war with us now. Cause they got everything. They already got us mentally fucked up in the head. So what you can do now, take the history too. So when you take the history from us and then reteach it to us, now we got a big problem. So now just look at all these wars, and these the same people that own Nike, the name brand clothes, all they got it. You know, you see the symbols on the clothes. So this is all these people that we're going against. Now since they got authority and control, now they done change us to warriors to entertainers. Man, you done changed the warriors into entertainers. They dancing, bug jumping, singing and shit. Took the war out of us. See, look, he was the one that created the stumbling block. You see what I'm saying? He was the one that started that stumbling block shit. This where all this come from. You know what I'm saying? And they were doing it for the money then. Every time when God got betrayed, he had to deal with some money. Put it like that, Jay. Know what I'm talking about? Here go all the prophecy. I'm gonna let y'all read it, Jay. Do y'all know the history about the Timberland boots and they logos? Don't you know the Timberland boots logo when they were hanging people on the trees? The Levi jeans were what they made the slaves wear to pick the cottons and do the buck breaking in. You put them in a pair of Levi jeans and you tie the man up against ropes, against horses, and the horses pull them and rip the Levi jeans. Just to show you how tough the Levi jeans was. You see what I'm saying? They just market their brand with horses and all that. That's why you see all when it come to cars, horsepower. Meaning, yeah, we got power, speed, and you know what I'm saying? Look how the horses running the world when it comes to machinery. And then look at all the wings that's on your shoes and on your clothes, fly high, you know what I'm saying, to the almighty, to these false gods and shit like that, right? We wear them on our shoes, our drawers, our t-shirts, our purses, our cars, everything in our household, and we are decorated all these items in the household. See what I'm talking about? You even got a tat on your body. You got a cross around your neck, the tattoos of crosses. Then you got a white man Jesus on your chest. You know what I'm talking about? And that ain't even the real him. Then, as you see, this man mysteriously led us to a stumbling block. To a stumbling block. To block us from the real truth, right? Now look, you got other books that we need to read to pick up on some of the lost stories in the Bible. Don't how many books is in the Bible? 66. And when you read chapters in the book, you can clearly like, well, we know it's missing. You know what I'm talking about? Missing pieces to the puzzle, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like this, but you got to go to other books that they didn't want to publish. You see what I'm saying about? So look, you got the evil eye. It's a supernatural belief in curse. Usually given to a person who is unaware. It's dated back at least to the Greek classicity. Classic, right? In the 6th century that appeared in a drunken vessel known as the eye cup. Uh, uh, Look, man, we need to go to this. Now we know it's coming from Greek. Italy, the mob, right? Think about the mob. When they go to church, they go to a Catholic church. Turkish. Here you go, they took the Hebrew language, the Semitic language of the Afrikaner family, right? They took our language and show you a piece of it. And talking about this all they found, right? No, they got everything. See that, Roman? See, look, these people believe in supernatural powers, curses. They said, man, y'all read, they said the concept of the significant of very widely amongst the different cultures. Boy, this shit finna, man, look. Look, yeah, what you say, you know, the symbols in the medicine bowl The crushing device stands for -2. Look, that's where you get the Moses stick, right? He wrapped the snake around it. The snake got two vein teeth, right? And when he bites you, it poisons you, but you don't feel the bite, and you'll be injected with poison. That's how they got the thing about needles. Cause when the snake started biting everybody in the party, they were poison. And then when Moses said, "You believe this same snake that poisoned you, this same snake can heal you." That means if I get bit by a poisonous snake, I got to keep this same snake that poisoned me, take it to the hospital with me, because they can attract some kind of another chemical in it to reduce the poison. Like a snake could eat another poisonous snake. So look, the eye cup from ancient Greek, right? So they believe in magic. That's where you get Hollywood from. When they convince us these movies, believing in these characters, you know what I'm saying? Look how many movies we watch, all these action packed movies, and you know what I'm saying, and thinking this shit, some of this shit real, like real reality housewives. They really got people really thinking that's reality life. So look, you got to look. That's where you get all this shit from. See that? The Owl Horus. When we had it, it was about healing and protection. When we had it, it was about healing and protection. You see that? And when they took it, they used it for that dirty deed. This like if I built this car and I know everything about this car, I sell it to you. But really, you stole it from me. But when you got it, you got people, since you got every type of knowledge about this car, right? So you will build another project to duplicate this car, sell it, see how they gonna go, you know what I'm talking about? Because you already got the knowledge how to build. So you can make different models of it, and then you put prices on it, and then you can tell everybody how to fix it and how to do this, and then and next thing you know, they killed the king and all this and took all the paperwork that goes into this shit and start selling to other people and give them a manuscript about the car and how it really works. But don't even tell you what to do when when the something go wrong with it. So look, the protection from the eye is to believe in the evil eye during the quickness of virus across different regions and periods. The evil eye was not feared with the equal intense of every corner of the Roman Empire. There were places where people felt most consciousness of the danger of the evil eye in Rome time. You see what I'm saying? So look at the symbols. Man, that ain't what I think that is it? Hold on. Wait a minute now. I told y'all. Shit, they done went all in Bangkok and took my shit. See what I'm talking about? They got my shit out. Ah, they fucked up. You know what I'm talking about? I need to go over there and claim my shit. You see what I'm saying? They stealing everything. And so look, man, I'm sitting up here, y'all. I'm up here. I'm reading this. I'm kind of getting interested in this eye, right? Cause we digging real deep now into this shit. Cause here we go with sorcerers, and I already know what sorcerer mean. See what I'm talking about? Yeah, they stole my shit and got my shit all on the display and everything. Hold on, yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, so that's so okay. Damn, I'm finna yeah, I got to look into some more of this. In Christianity, the evil eye is known as the evil eye. It is seen to manifest as what's happening within the religion world. To believe Satan and demons. It is believed that they use the evil eye to cause harm on Christians. They do not believe to manifest in the physical world. We believe that. Because that's why he dwell in the man body. And hold on. See that? Jesus said he represents the eye, the evil eye, as a lamp to the body, meaning that people like, I can see right through you. That's what they get the phrase from. I can see right through you. The eyes are, you know what I'm saying, are the light to the soul, right? If a person's eye is genuine, then their whole body would be filled with light. If their eyes evil, then their whole body would be filled with darkness. Mm-hmm. It's true. Because you can tell a lot about a person's eyes. Because it's not about what they saying. It's about when they speak and you can see right, you know what I'm saying? If you sit down and you talk to a person like or an interview, look how you look on the interview of that person. That's why when they do an interview, that's why it's called interview. And then when you do an interview, you get to know a person a little more better, right? So look, so they wear a cross and say this is worn by Christians to protect to for protection from the powers of Satan. And some also to believe to wear the flat toe is an Eastern European sentiment is pinned on the clothes in order to warn off Satan. Hmm. So If they was the one out stated, then why they killed them on there on the cross then? You see what I'm saying? What's up, y'all? Hi, y'all. If y'all just coming in, we ain't doing nothing, just getting up on some of this history, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I got to get into this game. I'm getting a little too deep in it, John. Mm-hmm. So now, you know what I'm saying? Now that's why they got all this shit on TV for their logos and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Now look, these were one of the four kings we went to war with. I'ma tell y'all something. We were going against some more black people too. You know what I'm saying? We were going against another tribe that was the same color that we were. We were going to war with them too. And they were devil worshiping shit like that. You know what I'm talking about? See, look, in India, babies and newborn infant will usually have their eye adorned with kajal and eyeliner. This would be black if it is to believe that the Indian that black works off the eye, the evil eye of any eye endured. A cold bay will often preserve the cast into the medical what and tied to a black screen, and the baby will wear this chain, bracelet, or a belt. Once more is the protection of the infant. This is a practice that following from the right to historic time. People usually remove on the full moon or new moon day, since these days considered to be in India. You know what I'm talking about? Damn, look at all the rituals they had to go through as a baby. I know some of them babies would be terrified growing up in some of these religions. And then you know what? I'm kind of looking at all the symbols now. Now I'm kind of really understanding the symbols now. You see what I'm saying? As I keep scrolling. I mean, it's all right there, gang. Hold on, y'all. So So the way I'm looking at all the people that we were really going to war with were really with the Italian mafia, the Romans, all these people were trying their best to get our land and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? And some of us were worshiping with these folks. They're just like us right now. That we really they really took God away from us, really. Cause you can't pray in school no more. You can't have no religious belief in public. No say so in public. That's against the law. You know what I'm talking about? Make it so bad they still don't even call God by his real name. They just call him God. And keep this in mind, God could be any other God. You know what I'm talking about? So you basically giving him the same title as a idol, right? I mean, look, only way they want you to talk about God if you go in a private building, a public building as a church and listen to the word.
That somebody gave up their donkey so Jesus could have a ride. What have you given up? That was yours, that you raised up and fed and grew up and nurtured, and yet you're willing to give it up so that God can use it. There is no success without sacrifice.
There's no success without sacrifice. You see what I'm saying? Look how the world took over. Now you got him. If you listen close and you would actually read and study your Bible, that's why nobody would sit in church but stand up and be like, wait a minute, tell the rest of the story. Because he trying to so he won't tell y'all about the wicked prophet that he was trying to cast a curse on us. He forgot about that, and now he playing with your emotion. About, what if have you gave up? God used the donkey. He gave up the donkey. So what are you gonna give up? You see what I'm saying? It's the slick words.
Just because you aren't the one who paid it doesn't mean that somebody didn't pay it. You can come in this church for years and throw $5 in an offering plate and walk away and pay it no mind. But it is not your $5 that paid for that pew. It is the people who gave 500 and 5,000 and 10,000 and a
What? Did you hear that? He said that's not your $5 paying for this shit. Them the people that pay 105,000. Now you see how the money coming in now. Now look. Now you just see his sermon. I just debunked this sucker here less than 5-10 minutes on it. Look at this shit.
$1,000 for years, and you get to sit in somebody else's sacrifice while you pass the plate and do nothing. Just because you didn't pay it doesn't mean it didn't get paid for. Just because you didn't buy the milk in the refrigerator and you left it out on the counter for it to go bad doesn't mean that mommy or daddy didn't pay for the gallon of milk that you chose to waste, because you can waste it until you start paying for it.
All of this was just heebie-jeebie. Just to make his shit sound good, because he left out the real key while we still up on a fucking curse. While we still in the shit that we into. While we still is being controlled by the Greeks, the Roman, the Catholic, and the mob. And then make it so bad. Look. Y'all don't see this shit?
Yeah. When you start paying for it, I bet you put it back in the refrigerator. My kids used to turn the air conditioning on.
And keep this in mind, milk come from a cow. And we had plenty of that in the yard. And I don't even think we were drinking no cow milk then. Only thing I know, we were eating pancakes, you know what I'm talking about? Cakes and shit, you know what I'm talking about? And I'm quite sure they weren't just really to look.
And the fan said they couldn't sleep without the air conditioning and the fan on. When they moved out, they learned how to sleep without the air conditioner on the fan on. Because when the bills come in your name, you learn how to cut stuff off. You ought to see them going through the house, cutting off. Cut that light out. Ain't nobody in that room. We don't.
But look at your lights though. You ain't worried about no light bill. You got TV lights on all through your shit. You got lights in your driveway. Look over your mansion. You ain't cutting that shit off. You see what I'm saying? What is he done cutting off in this motherfucker? It's like he paying more and more for the light bill. Shit, how much that light bill? Shit, 5,000. Shit, that's cool. You see what I'm saying? Now it done changed in from a donkey into money. So what he was basically saying, man, if you come into church, man, you can put $5 in all you want. You ain't gonna get no blessing because you taking up the spot that a person that paying $5,000, 100,000 a seat. That means you taking up seats in this motherfucker with that little bit of ass change. If you don't come out your pocket, man, you ain't gonna get no blessing. I'm just let you know, if you don't come out, Lord ain't finna look.
Need no light. I think, where were you 10 years ago? Jesus is literally sitting on the benevolence of a follower, which is built on the integrity of his name. Tell him the master has need of him. I'm not going myself. I'm not calling him. I'm not reaching out to him. You just tell him what I said. My name will open up doors to access other people's resources. That's when you got power.
Just like we seen in the scripture, when the prophecy led walking the donkey, and the donkey stopped because he seen the angel, because he knew that prophet was paid to mislead Israel into a curse. He ain't said nothing about that. See what I'm saying? He done changed it into money. That's the same mentality the same prophet had that was the wicked prophet. If he took a payout and said, yeah, I'm down with it, look what he just did. He told you the donkey, stay prayed up. Don't worry about the hits and the blows that you might get because God got something for you. Meaning let him pump you out. You know what I'm talking about? Man, y'all better wake up to these suckers.
You ain't got power because you got muscles. You got power when you can put your name on something and it opens up.
And that's why the devil dwell in high places and principalities. See what I'm saying? He's saying open up doors to be successful, but nothing about God. He said, you mention my name, you can have success. And the doors will open. And he ain't talking about no heavy doors. Let's see what doors he's talking about.
Because, I mean, it's nice to have muscles. I'm not hating on nobody. I got a few. But the problem with it, ain't nobody fighting no more.
If you shop on Amazon, you should use this tool. It's a browser extension that
So you can box like Muhammad Ali, but you can't box a 9mm. Power is when your name has enough weight that all they have to do is go in your name and doors open because you said it. That's what you want to aspire to get the power and the integrity behind your name that's strong enough that your name opens doors. And you
So I thought when you first started this sermon out, you said Jesus was the way. Now you turn around saying that your name can make ways. So you went from teaching the gospel from Jesus, from the donkey, right? I mean, from the donkey and the wicked prophet. Went from trying to preach the truth to get everybody to like, mention the donkey talk, you know what I'm saying? And they were like, oh yes. And next thing you know, he's completely switch it up, got to talk about $5 to $1,000 to $5,000 to his name could open up doors in success in life to be a better person by mentioning TD Jake's name, Jack. Oh! That's when he get his power from, because we already know who down with it. You see what I'm saying? Check this out.
don't have to walk around wearing Brioni. What are you wearing, me?
Because you got all these big name brand devil ass clothes on, right? Check this out. Look.
I'm wearing me. Yeah, I'm dressed in me. This is my company. This is my suit. This is my tailor-made business. I'm wearing me. Because I'm tired of investing in other people's names. I'm going to start investing. Y'all can't handle that. Let me get out of that. The mixed expectations of the people are mighty because the fact that Jesus has summoned the colt to ride into the city reinforces the expectation of the people around him that he is coming as the son of David to be king. You see, throughout most of the Old Testament, they saw the peaks of the mountains, but not the valleys. So they saw the first advent and the second advent, the coming of Christ, the return of Christ, and they prophesied about the birth of Christ and the return of Christ, but they said very little about the death of Christ. So the death of Christ was hidden from view.
Now I'm going to stop it right there, y'all, because keep this in mind. This is not the way God wants the word to be told. Even Jesus said, it's wrong to teach worldly teaching. God specifically told us, do not love the world and nothing in it. When he told us, do not love the world and nothing in it, because look how much power the devil got. He controlled all the clothing. He controlled all the children. He controlled all the money. He get to choose who rich, who poor. He get to choose whoever he wants to show in Hollywood. He get to choose who gets assassinated. He control all of this shit, right? So it's evilness all around us. You don't supposed to teach the Bible. You got these people thinking that we the donkey and God gonna release the yoke around our neck because he got something planned for us. We need to stop putting in cheap money in these churches and give all our money into these churches so God can really focus on us. But he ain't even addressing the issue that the reason why the donkey stopped, because he won't make this stupid ass decision. And fucking with the devil. That means he done talked to these white people and came with a contract to use their network to spread this lie. You think they want him to be on TV? Yeah. He's doing exactly what they telling him to do. Why Pastor Geno Jennings ain't got the same recognition as him? Because they don't want them to talk like Pastor Geno Jennings. You see what I'm saying? Look at him. Look how much he got on right now. Look from the shoe into the pants and all here. Look how much money he spent there. That's your whole rent, your car note. You see what I'm saying? Your grocery. That nigga got it all on his back. In one outfit. Man, look, for the love of money just shows you how crooked he is. He done went to explaining the gospel, the Lord's preacher, and changed it into money, y'all. To money now. Last time I checked, Jesus didn't have no bankroll. You know what I'm talking about? He won't walk around with cash.
Because the death of Christ is process. The return of Christ is promise. And God very seldom gives us details about process. Because if he gave you the details about the process, you would give up on the promise. So he gives you a vision about the promise, and then he throws you into the process.
Now keep this in mind. That's why the pastor say, everybody open your books, let's go to the book of Acts. And they'll read one or two scriptures to you and give you a whole sermon. Really ain't got nothing to do with the scriptures they just read. They just want to read that scripture to you so you can hear what God said. Now they finna interpretate the teacher into the prosperity teacher, the money teacher. You see what I'm saying? So that means everybody got their Bible in their hand, but they ain't even read. Cause while he talking, I be constantly reading the Bible like, whoa, let me see what he gonna get to this part. Cause I want to hear the rest of this donkey story. Cause look, the reason why he ain't mentioned about how wicked the prophet is, cause guess what? He got to tell the whole congregation that the prophets took a payout. The prophet took a payout and deceived the Israelites for money. For money. And he just turned around and look. And now he turned around telling you how to spend your money with him in the church.
And you say, Lord, I didn't know it was going to take all of this. I wanted a good marriage, but I didn't expect to shut up. You didn't tell me I was going to have to bite my tongue. I want a husband. I don't want to wash no dirty drawers. I want a wife. I don't want to be understanding, listening to her chatter about people I don't know. I learned how to handle that. When my wife does that, I respond, shut up. Get out of here. No, she didn't. She know better than that. I can't believe it. I keep right on reading the paper. Shut up. Get out of here.
He don't want to hear that shit. You see what I'm saying and joking about it. Then let's go to Joel Osteen. Now I be watching these preachers. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. The Pharisees. When you mention the word Pharisee, look what race they is. So you got to hold on, gang. I mean crumpets. Now look, Dr. Sabian, he telling the truth. If you look at the menu what they were eating in the Old Testament, if you look at the meat in their menu, they weren't talking about cooking all eggs and shit. What we eat today, look what they were eating. You had corner stores and you could pick out what you want to eat. You see what I'm saying? They were really eating nothing but the fruits, veggie on the ground. And when they did eat meat, it was like fish in the water. You know what I'm talking about? Or a bird. Because they were eating birds back then. Quails to be exactly. Yeah, look, you see how Joe Overstein didn't even want to let the people in this church when the hurricane hit Texas? I seen that shit. He was on the news looking like, man, how these folks, why y'all got these folks on my shit? Man, what these folks, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Then when they got that camera on him, he couldn't do nothing but, yes, the church is always open, smiling and shit. He real mad. So, you got TDJ saying it's cool to be a homosexual. He said it's cool to be a homosexual. You got to pay $505,000 to sit in the presence of the Lord. Then you call on his name to open up doors for you. And look who all these celebrities, watch this. This will show you a coat right here. Yeah, he was dead wrong. Man, he wrong on a whole lot of shit. You know what I'm talking about? See, they don't want you to eat what Dr. Sabian telling us to eat. You see what I'm saying? Man, we supposed to be eating fruits. Strawberry grapes, not buying them out of stores, artificial flavor that mixed with chemicals and poison just to enhance. Look, they got us drinking grape drinks and it don't even taste like grapes. You see what I'm talking about? I was drinking the peach drink. I'm like, this ain't real peaches. You know what I'm talking about? Let me go at the store and buy me a real peach. Ate a real peach and drunk another peach. I said, these two different goddamn tastes. You see what I'm saying? We so used to artificial food. You know what I'm talking about? Look, we so artificial food. We thinking just say like, you drink cherry Coke. You thinking it tastes like cherry. Yeah, give me a watermelon juice out there. You got a watermelon. You really thinking this shit tastes like watermelon. You see what I'm talking about? And check this out. You can go to the store and buy you a lemon and go home and put that one lemon in some cold ice water. Oh man, put your little 2, 3 teaspoon in your cup. Man, that gonna be the best water you know what I'm talking about. Taste way better than this shit be on the racks. So look, all I'm basically saying, these is meats that come from people that worship they idols. They worship their idols, so they put all their sacrifices on us. So that's just like if I'm in the meat factory and I'm a sinner, right? And I know I'm with and I'm around here committing all this sin and all this old shit. So look how many animals you gonna have to kill every time you commit a sin. Man, you gonna be a goat killing motherfucker. You see what I'm talking about? So that means you're gonna need a whole warehouse and just killing animals because in your belief you sacrificing an animal and you making a profit off of it. That's why they got it. That's why they said money, the king of merch, is the new god. Because they got him, you know what I'm saying, on the dollar bill. Why they didn't put Jesus on the dollar bill then? See what I'm talking about? So they go to our news media outlet because when they use these supernatural powers, what they do, they use it in their documentaries. Like, for a prime example, Clive David was fucking with Whitney Houston. But they ain't just want to make it seem like they was fucking. It was like strictly about business. But he liked the Whitney, wanted to fuck with Whitney. But he could. She making his money for him. Bam, bam, bam. She generating him millions and millions of dollars. Now keep this in mind. Whitney, she a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? But we actually don't know how much she was getting. We can only go by what they were telling us. So when she got with Bobby Brown, this when all the bad image came out of her. Like, she don't like good guys. She like bad boys and shit. They try to paint her image, try to make her and Bobby Brown look like they the most oddest couple. But then next time you know, shit, Clyde Davis like, well, fuck it then. You know what I'm talking about? We gonna expose the dope then. Then she fuck off. Yeah, she blow cocaine, smoking crack, all this shit. Get the cameras rolling. Yeah, because keep this in mind, he got the powers over the camera. So when they start Whitney all in the bad spotlights and shit, look how some of the people like, damn, Whitney, you fucking up and all this, but she been attacked the whole time like they did Michael Jackson when he got the Beatles catalog and all this old shit. He started went downhill. They started calling him a child molester, paying people just to say criminal things towards him. So they use the camera to cast these spells on us to get us to think different about certain situations. They say like if you made a gay joke and if it were really funny, they gonna say the gay community got a problem with it. It ain't the gay community that got a problem with it. It's the person that got high power that's in the gay community that was offended by that. You see what I'm saying? He could took that kind of joke because that's what type of person that he is. And it would remind him of the wickedness that he done did, so he don't want nobody to say that type of shit. Right? Because everybody laughing in the audience like, goddamn, this some nasty motherfuckers, man. And next thing you know, you seeing and hearing this shit. Now let's cancel his ass. They got the money to tell you, and then look, they got an actor. They can say something on TV, and if they don't like it, they can make him apologize in front of everybody just because he told the truth. You see what I'm saying? So the whole time when we were going to church, that's why it was against the law for us to read the Bible. So if we would have read the Bible, right? Look how much information that we could get. Since we know we ain't getting it from T.D. Jakes and shit about the whole donkey theory and the whole purpose of the story. He didn't even explain the purpose of the story. The whole purpose, God didn't want him to be around devil worshiping and accepting they satanic ass idols and putting a spell on goddamn Israelites, on us to be in fact his people. The same people that he preaching to, this the same people that they talk about in the Bible. That's like he telling you, yeah, they were putting a hit out on us. The prophet was trying to put a hit out on us. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, look. I'm already know they already got special police and all that shit. That ain't nothing new. Shit, look how the shit when they got the company, look who they saw. The Knight Templar. Shit. Fuck the police, they had military walking in that motherfucker. So all I'm just saying, I see how the world live. I see how wicked it is. You know what I'm talking about? I see how the world is so much greedy for money. Man, if I go just on the algorithm list alone, you see what I'm saying? That's all you gonna see on this John. If it ain't got nothing to do with money, somebody exposing the truth. You see what I'm saying? All this shit, y'all. Yeah. Hi, y'all. Appreciate the cash out game too, y'all. Appreciate that. You know what I'm talking about? But like I said, they killed Michael Jackson, Martin Luther King. They killed all our leaders. All because of what? Of their voice. You take the voice away, then they can speak a lie. You see what I'm saying? Man, these folks showing you, you know what I'm talking about? These folks just really think of us in the world. If you ain't got money, get away from me. They tell you they'll preach. They don't even preach how the way you supposed to treat homeless people. That's why you don't even see homeless people in churches. Cause look what it already is establishment. We don't want no homeless motherfuckers in here. You see what I'm saying? Look at the difference between the crowd within the church. When you see a bigger church, look at the crowd that's in that motherfucker. They not just going to church just because they guilty. You know what I'm saying? They just going to church just to hear the word of God and pay the money. Yeah, I fucked up this week. Shit, I'm gonna drop out about 300-400. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. 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 All this hallelujah is amen. And yeah, girl, nice to see you, Sister Jones. All of them been fucking that night. High, fucked up, talking about other people, fucking with little boys or little girls. You see what I'm saying? Nothing but a bunch of hypocrites in church trying to play sanctified. Just go in that motherfucker. Man, look. Man, God ready for you to just sit down and read with a conscious mind about Him. That's the closest that you can get to God. You see what I'm saying? That's how you supposed to relate to God. That's why he said when you pray in private. You see what I'm saying? You go in private and you pray to God. You see what I'm talking about? You ask him that's your private moment with God. But they all want you to, what I'm saying, pray together so you can hear everybody's prayers and shit. And matter of fact, what I'm talking about, when the pastor pray, he just pray for y'all. You know what I'm talking about? Hi y'all, what's up, y'all? I see y'all still popping up in the chat, ain't it? What really going on? And then look, man, I ain't even gonna lie. If we all die right now, I ain't got to tell y'all where we going. You know exactly you gonna go. So don't act shocked about it. Cause when you act shocked, you're like, wait a minute, oh my God, how can this be? I can't believe I'm actually down here. Lord, please listen to me. I need to say something. He ain't gotta say nothing. Cause he know who you is on the inside. He created you. He knew your weakness and your strengthness. But you choose to let your weakness rule over your strengthness because you got too comfortable in your own house with all these devils and vices in your house, like a microwave, a TV, a radio. These is all the utensils that were designed from the devil. The TV to keep your mind open and keep your eyes open on the TV. See what I'm talking about? He got the music that clogs everything that you hear. The music going in, no more teachings. See what I'm talking about? Microwave to cook that old processed meat to make it look like real food. Then you go on and buy stolen oil for your car that these people took and killed people for this oil. But now you like, hey, let me get a 10 off 4, please. You know what I'm talking about? We know the story about that. Look how many people got their hand cuts off for it. And look who got the chops and charging an arm and a leg for these little motherfuckers. These are all shit that come from the devil, right? They was like, well, shit. Since we got all the devices in their home, put it in the car. They got TVs in the car, a radio in it. You know what I'm talking about? To keep your mind still, you can't even ride with the radio off it. See what I'm saying? To keep your mind flooded, because guess what? You got rap music, your reality shows, all this shit unhealthy for the mind. So when God be like, what's the password getting the gate? You gonna be like, I don't know, can you tell me? Man, how long you been living? You been living almost 80 goddamn years and you still don't know. Sorry, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like Lucifer got you. He done gave you the world, and you know what I'm talking about? And I guess you ready to choose that and then to her. That's why we just trying to keep the criminals out. Now you gonna look like a criminal in his eyes. You know what I'm talking about? They just like you at the Golden Gates. They be like, let me in. And we tell you, get away from the gate, bomb. Cause you don't sure want to go up there when I'm on the clock, goddammit. I'm be working security. I'm be walking my rounds and shit, and your ass popping up. I'm like, yeah, excuse me, you know what I'm talking about? I'm like, yeah, I'm here for the Lord. You here for the Lord. Let me see. Let me pull this document down. Now, what's your name? You know what I'm talking about? My name, Quick Thunder Booty James. Okay, Quick Thunder Booty James. Let me pull up, see if we got you. Nah, it don't show you in the record light, boo. You know what I'm talking about? Let me go to the book of death right quick. Let me see if you in now. Hold on, you mean tell me my name in the book of life? You like, look, if it ain't in the book of life, it's in the book of death. Let me flip through these pages right quick. I'm gonna fly to the session. Like quick, Thunder Booty James. Yeah, that's you right there. Yeah, I got to call loose for, hey man, you got another one up here. What that mean, Tregang? Hold on, wait a minute. You know what I'm talking about? Man, then when I'm at like the police, man, I'm gonna need you to step on the other side of the street, please. What? What did you say? Hold on, just give me a minute. I explain then. Then you gonna see number demons pull up. Quick, James, Dr. Booty, that dude. You come over here and talk to the police. What's going on? He gonna be like a police arrest, dude. You know, what the fuck going on? Man, you got a warrant. A warrant for what? What I did? And you got a warrant for disobedience and shit, you know what I'm talking about? You gotta go and talk to the devil and shit. Yeah, that's how I'm be on security, goddamn. You really gonna be mad at me, you know what I'm saying? Like, but let me just talk to Jesus. He don't wanna rap. I mean, can I just at least see him? No, you looking at him. He said I look just like him, goddamn it. So when you look at me, you seeing him. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, I'm gonna go and get on the back of John gang. You know what I'm talking about? I've been doing a lot of exposing on these suckers lately. You know what I'm talking about? But I'm gonna go in on that Kanika Jenkins case too, cause I think this shit kind of similar. I think there was some kind of demon shit going on to be in my. I'm gonna tell you something. It's gotta be worse than Kanika, man, cause I'm gonna tell you something, man. It's something they did in that hotel, and I believe me, it could have been some kind of demon ass shit going on in that hotel. And whatever it is that they hide in that hotel to get a lot of people in trouble. I'm just keeping it real. If you look at the body and the way it's tampered with, and the way they cover up bruises on the body, and keep this in mind, right? I was thinking about, man, y'all know what I really thinking about of that footage of them in that freezer. Mm. Cause the way it looked like, man, it was her facial expression that done it for me. She seen her attacker before she died, and she was in the middle of a struggle with the attacker. Cause when she was fighting back, they had to be fighting for a while for Kanika body temperature to freeze in the moment when she died. Like for a prime example, if you watch a boxer and he get caught with that one hit of quitter, you see how his whole body would lock up like he having a seizure. And his body, you know what I'm saying? And when he hit the ground, his legs and the arms still would be in the air. Just imagine if there was a death blow, and if he would have died like that, his body would still be laying in that position. His body was still in that position because his body, the muscle already, you know what I'm saying? Because when you know how the blood works in the body after death, and when the rigor mortis set in, it gonna set in, you know what I'm talking about? So when Kaniqua actually again, you know what I'm saying? That she died downstairs. She died downstairs. Put it like that. But yeah. Hey y'all, man, Tregang ain't finna go and get on out of here, y'all, man. Look, y'all be cool and y'all be safe, you know what I'm talking about? And I love y'all, man. Bye, y'all. And we'll be back, Jack.